So this is going to be a update of my home gym. I've added a few pieces, so I'll just start from the beginning. In the corner here is a Cybex Classic row. Next to it is a Bells of Steel plate loaded lat pull down. I got the plate loaded version because I'm really not changing a lot of weights on when I'm doing lat pull downs or rows. And it has a little more travel because the normal 300-pound waist stack version, the waist stack goes up pretty far, and so there's quite a bit shorter cable. Over here in the corner is a Strive chest press. This is actually the youth edition. It's more compact than the adult, and I needed a more compact version because of my limited space. But one of the big differences between the adult one, besides the foot pedal, is it's got a lower weight stack, but I solved that by adding these dual-sided weight pins, which have a capacity of 200 pounds. Over here is an old school Icarian preacher curl. This version has a round cam, which provides a real linear, consistent strength curve. Right here is a chest-supported T-bar row. This is a Star Trek Human Sport shoulder chest cable machine. It's also really good for the bottom cables are really good for biceps, and it's also good for low to high cables, flies. And this the top cable is also really good for like face pulls, because this specific machine, the cable is significantly smoother than I've ever used on any functional trainer. Don't know why. It's just a lot smoother than my free motion functional trainer. Over here in the corner is a Nautilus 2ST incline press. Again, I keep this one. I have quite a few chest machines, but what I like about this one is this version that was replaced with the Nitro line. The version before it is isolateral, so each arms move independently. Over here is an old school trotter row, and this is a really good machine as well, because it's got a very linear strength curve, and there's a lot of travel in the seat. It goes all the way down low where it is, so you can do some rear delts, and then the seat goes up really high, so where your hands are low to your waist, they give you a nice low row. This is a more recent find here. This is a Cybex Advanced chest. So the arms move dual access. So not only do they converge like normal, but they move freely. So it mimics a dumbbell press or a dumbbell fly. Over here is a commercial grade Matrix pec deck rear delts. This is a old school trotter chest press, similar to an old school, you had Precor, you had Body Master, you have some old school Cybex. These are not converging, but what's unique about this one versus those others is each arms are move isolateral, so they move independently. This here is a replica of a Panada standing multi-flight. So this is a great machine because you can cross the arms like this to get a good pre-stretch on lateral raises. You can turn to the side, do front raises. It goes up and down, so you can drop it down lower and do rear delts. You can also move the handles to the top and do pec flies or even one-arm pullovers. Over here is a free motion dual functional trainer, and then on it I just bolted on a wall unit to store all the attachments. This here is a Legend flat, their Lever Edge series, horizontal press. What's unique about this compared to a lot of other machines are just the placement of the handles. If you look at the handles, they usually go down this way. These go up, and what that does is where your hands are placed, it actually puts less tension on the outside to your shoulders and puts the tension more to the center of your chest. So like I have bad shoulders, as well as I tend to be shoulder dominant in my pressing and chest exercises. This helps to counter that. Also, the placement of the weight horns are a little closer to the handle, so I prefer that strength curve as well. What that does is makes it a little more balanced, and you have a little more stretch when the weight horns are placed further back. It gets a lot harder at the top of the motion and the contraction, which kind of has you prematurely start failing. Over here in the corner here is a Nautilus Nitro lat pull down. It really mimics more of a high row. And then I added these handles on here, which allows me to get on my knee and do one arm. You get a lot more stretch, and you can isolate each side of your lat. Over here is a old school Cybex bicep curl. And you set the seat low here, and your arms are more vertical, or horizontal, I mean. And so it kind of mimics an old school Nautilus bicep. Provides a lot of tension on the bottom portion or lengthened portion of the movement. Over here is a hammer strength. Super incline, or also called a front military press. So I'm not the biggest fan of hammer strengths because a lot of their strength curves are a little bit too biased to the contraction. But I picked this one up because this does a really good, I prefer this combination for front delts, because when I'm pressing too vertical, again, it hurts my shoulder. By being more at this, I don't know, that's probably a 75, 80 degree angle. It still hits the front delts very well, but doesn't create as much pain. And it also lets me concentrate a little on the upper pecs, which is one of my weakest muscle groups. Right here is a Cybex VR2 incline press. This is their dual access. So very similar to the advanced chest machine, just a selectorized. These old school VR2s are just great machines because they run on the Kevlar belt, so they're incredibly smooth. So I've run out of space in this basement. This basement's about 350 square feet and is packed with quite a few machines. I think there's 19 machines in here. So I've had to move out into the hallway here. So in the hallway here, I have a Nautilus 2ST tricep dip machine. Just a PowerTech hyperextension, 45 degree, as well as goes to 90 degrees. And then over here is a inexpensive Side incline pec machine. And the reason I got this is a lot of these machines have two flaws. One, even though the back is set at an incline, the arms are parallel with or even with the back, so it's technically not an incline. It's more of a flat press. You're just sitting at an incline. And then the other is their strength curves tend to be really bad on these, where they're not a lot of tension at the bottom or stretch portion of the movement, and they get very difficult at the top. So a fix I did is added some weight horns at the end closer to the handles. Just took some old storage weight horns and drilled through the steel and then bolted them on. And what this does is this allows me to distribute the weights in a way that I can change the strength curve. So the original strength curve is probably biased to almost between the starting point and the top point changes about 50%. And then here I can balance it to make it even through the whole motion, or even make it more biased toward the bottom portion of the motion. I've also have machines out in the garage here. Still have to do a lot of cleanup on the garage because I have a few machines that aren't even fully assembled. A Smith machine, a leg press, or a like a super squat style leg press, as well as another chest machine. So out here is this is a Magnum by Angular incline press. I got this in place of a Legend incline press, which is what is the machine I'm really looking for, but they're just really hard to find. I've still not found, I've only found 2 used, and they're still within $500 of the new price used, so they're hard to come by. This one was a good deal. Again, it has several handle placements that are great. The only thing on it, if you notice, the weight horns are a little further back, and so at the bottom of the movement, you know, it's not a tremendous amount of tension, but it gets a lot more tension to the top of the movement. This is what I've most recently added, and this is a Cybex Advanced chest press. So it's just the same, similar as the incline. It's just a flat horizontal version. So again, can mimic a dumbbell fly or a dumbbell press. Over here is a Cybex VR2 chest press, just a vertical version. Over here is a Matrix biangular, but the selectorized version. Again, I've had this for a while, disassembled in the corner. And so the reason why I had it disassembled, it didn't have a tremendous amount of convergence, whereas this one here has a lot of convergence. It goes from Y to where your hands are almost touching at the top. So while this one does not have as much, but what I found is for the neutral grip, there's really too much conversion. So I use this one for a neutral grip because the conversion it does have is more than sufficient for a neutral grip press. Back in the corner is a glute kickback. Over in this corner is a Star Trek leg extension. Over here is a Nautilus Nitro seated leg curl. And then right here is an old school Paramount rotary press. So the arms are moved in an arced motion. Again, very much like a fly. And then down here is just a, Life Fitness ab machine. So altogether, I've managed to fit around 28 machines between these 3 locations. And these 3 locations probably add up in total of around 550 square feet. So I hope to open up enough space for another about 80 to 100 square feet of space in the garage, so I can extend out my, I can add some leg machines in there as well as the Smith machine. So that concludes this rundown of my home gym.